Leave. Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard joined ABC 13 Weather Now. This is on our 24/7 stream to just talk about how to weed through the hype to get the facts when it comes to hurricane forecasting.
First off, let's chat about why we can't always just trust these individual models that people like to show weeks in advance.
First of all, they're single sort of snapshots.
Yes.
You know, and snapshots are great when you're talking about, you know, Instagram photos, but in moments of time, and especially when we're talking, 7 to 10 days out, they can be really problematic. So what we like to use is, the National Hurricane Center forecast, the Climate Prediction Center's forecast over the next 2 to 3 weeks to kind of get a feel for what kind of long-term trends show in terms of tropical development, especially this time of the year.
Well, and walk us through too, a lot of these models will put out something and then it'll change the next model run.
Especially 10 days out or more. And this is especially prevalent in the western kind of Atlantic basin, so we're talking the Gulf. That is where we see a lot of bias, especially from one particular model, which we'll talk about here shortly, kind of really gravitating towards kind of blowing up these large hurricanes and putting them onto the Gulf Coast, whether it's Texas, Louisiana, Florida. I think all of us have at some point this season been hit by some major hurricane that doesn't actually happen.
Right. I mean, Aaron, before Aaron actually rolled to the East Coast, if you were online at all, there was a couple models showing it rolling straight into Texas. And we were like, nope, don't do it. So the people who are posting these, most likely doing it to get some eyes on them.
To get some eyes on them. So I want to kind of talk about some of the clicks that you see. Now, again, this is that 2 to 3 week Climate Prediction Center outlook showing some low-end development possibility there in the Gulf But questions to consider. This is where I really want you to kind of pay attention, especially during hurricane season. Where is that image that you're seeing coming from? That image that's going viral. Thousands of people have shared it. Thousands of people have commented on it. Where exactly is it coming from? And is the post dated? A lot of times these will be red flags. So if the post is not dated, I know Travis is very good about this. The whole ABC 13 weather team is really good about this. I'm good about this, not to toot my own horn. I'd like to make sure that dates are included whenever we've got those posts. Have you seen this image before? And then what does the National Hurricane Center say? And then the last question here I think is really the most important. What is the poster's intent? So are we talking about, using language that's riling up or kind of instilling sort of fear? That's where, some red flags kind of get thrown up as well whenever we're dealing with these kind of long-range outlooks, 7, 10, 14 days out.
So how do we weed these out? How do we know which one to trust, which one not to trust?
It's just a matter of getting your information from reliable sources. So not, necessarily the meteorologist, MEDIA. Getting those sources from trusted, vetted sources.
And the ABC 13 weather team giving you an in-depth look at the major weather stories every weekday on Weather Now. You can watch it anywhere you stream ABC 13. That's weekdays at noon. It is 5:19 now. Let's get a check of your forecast. Here's meteorologist Elita Loresca.
All right, things are quiet in the Gulf when you talk about any sort of tropical development. We've got some disorganized showers and thunderstorms well off here over the eastern Gulf. But you'll notice that the storm track that's been shoved to the north as a heat ridge is over portions of the desert southwest. We've got a frontal boundary that's draped right around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. North of that boundary is where we've got kind of that storminess factor. Those showers and thunderstorms should stay just to the north of that boundary for today. But what we will be monitoring for today is a sea breeze will start to get going, and that frontal boundary will slowly make its way towards southeast Texas. That will be the focus point of some showers today, tomorrow, and then kind of wash out as we get closer toward Thursday. By Friday and Saturday, there's going to be a stronger front that's going to be arriving over the northern plains, and that one also sends us another round of some showers and thunderstorms. 13 alert radar is active at this hour, mainly along our coastal communities. These showers and storms have tried to progress further inland, but they've been fizzling out right as they cross the northern parts of Wharton County. So Edna, Ganado, you're getting maybe a sprinkle or two, but not the heavy rains that we're seeing around Calhoun and Matagorda County. And also watch watching kind of these cluster showers, some brief heavy rains that are pushing toward the Freeport and Lake Jackson area over the next hour or so. Things are nice and dry over Houston right now, 76 degrees. The winds are calm. We're looking for temperature readings to remain in the 70s, at least for now. The humidity levels are still in check, meaning that the feels like temperatures are not too far off from the actual air temperature with that drier air still in place. We're going to slowly start to wipe away that drier air as now the flow is coming offshore, and that sea breeze is going to increase the humidity levels, and you'll feel it by this afternoon. The temperature reading right now in the city of Liberty and in Humble are in the low to mid 70s this afternoon. We should be pushing temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Ozone levels the last couple of days have not been good. We've been dealing with unhealthy for sensitive groups. I think we've got another round of this afternoon before we slowly start to see some improvements as we get better rain chances built in here by the middle of the week. So your Tuesday forecast is calling for clouds that'll be spreading inland, showers and thunderstorms mainly along the coastline. It won't be until the afternoon, let's say 3 to 7 p.m., where we start to see some of these showers and thunderstorms bubbling up, developing a couple claps of thunder. Remember, thunder roars, head indoors for those outdoor activities that may be in that time frame just after school for many of you. Here's a look at the flood risk for Friday. That stronger front will be pushing down toward our coastal communities as we head into Saturday. Looks like Saturday could be dealing with some heavier pockets of rain as a disturbance rides along that boundary. So I think Friday morning, Thursday night into Friday morning, we could see maybe a streamer shower or two, but some of the heavier bands of rain may hold off until the sun goes down. And then it's overnight Friday and into Saturday when we'll start to see the intensity of that rain increase and also that coverage. Now, we are anticipating some drier conditions blowing in on Sunday. Sunday's rain chance will be dropping, but it won't be completely rain-free. I think we get the rain-free forecast coming up on Labor Day, on Monday. Rainfall totals, not looking too impressive. I think there'll be those higher rainfall totals with these type of storms right now favoring our coastal communities over 2, maybe even 3 inches of rain. But yes, the model data is suggesting that Friday and Saturday could be a couple of our high-impact days. We're not pulling the trigger on a watch or an alert day, but that's going to be something that we consider when we start getting closer with our high-resolution models to show just how much rain we can expect. For now, it looks like the consensus is 1 to 2 inches looks to be safe with some of those higher rain bands coming in Friday night and into Saturday, guys.
Thank you, Elita.